Hello and welcome to a podcast about something. Today we're doing another episode of Movie Superlatives, and we're specifically talking about ghost movies today. On the line I have Hawthorne and Amaryllis from the Grave Girls podcast. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about your podcast?
Hi, I am Hawthorne.
And I'm Amaryllis.
And we are Grave Girls Podcast. We are a podcast about girls who love horror movies, and then we relate the horror movies to a true crime case, like a real life murder, and a scary story. Oh, sorry.
I found a scary... No, yeah. Dude, okay. I find a scary story that relates to it. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not.
They're always good.
You know. We have good days and bad days.
And then we have a third co-host, but she's not here right now, and she does a I Survived case, so it's like she'll pick something similar from the movie, like let's just say, I don't know, Getting Buried Alive, and then how someone survived it, so in case you get captured by a murderer and you get buried alive, then you can be like, oh, Hazel told me how to survive this. And that's our podcast.
Awesome. That is very good information to have. I'll have to... Did you do an episode on Getting Buried Alive already? I might have to go check that one out.
We're doing it now. I have to edit it today.
Gotcha. So the next one, by the time this posts, because this is posting the week of Halloween, that's why we're doing ghost movies to give you a spooky feel on Halloween. So by the time this posts, that one will be out. So if you're getting buried alive anytime around Halloween, make sure you go back and check that out.
Definitely.
That's the best time to get buried alive.
We have like how not to get stalked. I think one was like a spider bite. I don't know. She has a lot of them though, but they're good. They're always like really good. All of our things are always good.
Yeah, I haven't listened to many of your episodes because scary movies scare me. So I haven't seen very many scary movies, but I listened to the Strangers one, and because that's I could never go back and watch it again, but that's one of my favorite from like just as a movie, going back and thinking about it and how it was put together.
Yes, I agree.
So I listened to yours, and you also covered the sequel to it, and I was really happy because you like really, really went into detail on the sequel, and I feel like I don't have to watch it now, and I know what happened, so I don't have to...
We really try to help people who don't like scary movies kind of say that they watched it, or they can at least talk about it.
Yeah, that's why I like the way we do our movies, how we like do kind of explain everything.
Like the episode.
Like spoiler alert queens, but
yeah, it's hard to do a movie podcast without having spoilers in it.
We say right in the beginning, like, we got spoilers and bad words. So if you don't like either of those, we're not for you. You know?
Exactly. And like I said, it helped me because now I don't have to go through the trauma of seeing the second one. And from listening to your podcast, it doesn't sound like it was quite as traumatic as watching the first one.
It definitely wasn't, but it was gorier because there was more people to like murder.
Yeah, gore doesn't really bother me as much because like I've seen all the Saw movies, and the first one scared the crap out of me, but the rest of them were just like intense and
they just hurt me to watch.
Ways. Yeah,
I can like feel them like cutting off their arm and stuff, and I don't like watching them.
Or like that one where they have the hooks on the rib cage and that rips her rib cage off. Oof.
Yeah, that one's rough.
Yeah. Good movies though.
Yeah, some of them. All right, well, let's get into ghost movies. These are any movies with a ghost. They didn't necessarily have to be scary movies. I'm sure yours are scary movies, though. All of mine aren't. I'll go ahead and say that.
Oh, really? They're all not? That's exciting.
Again, don't watch a lot of horror movies.
No, I know.
So we've got five awards to give out, and just a refresh on what the Movie Superlatives series is each month, me and another guest will go through a specific type of movie, and we will give out these made-up awards to anything that falls under this type of movie.
Yeah.
So this month, it's ghost movies. And the awards we are giving out are Scariest Ghost, Most Helpful Ghost, the saddest like death story for the ghost becoming a ghost, the strangest or dumbest thing a ghost haunts, and the best ghost. And the best ghost is the one that like you would personally want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's start with Scariest Ghost. Amaryllis, you haven't talked in a while, so you go first.
Yeah. Okay. My Scariest Ghost is from the movie The Babadook, if you haven't seen it.
I have not.
I'm assuming not.
No, that's going to be a running theme here.
It's on Netflix, and it's amazing.
It's an Australian horror film?
So you know it's
Yeah.
good, because them Australians got some scary stuff, so if it scares them,
I've
it's
heard
gonna
about
scare
it.
us.
So what makes the Babadook ghost so scary?
Well, it starts out with like the mom finds a book in the kid's room and she's reading it to him because, moms read their kids stories. And it starts out as a normal kids book story, pretty fine. And then it just gets progressively more and more like disturbing. And then the Babadook kind of manifests and like he's just the scary looking, what is he, like a monster? But like a
he's like a
ghost?
trench coat ghost, kind of.
Yeah.
But he is really scary looking,
And
though.
he's very scary looking. He basically is tormenting the mother and like driving her crazy so that she'll kill her own son.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
But the movie has a good
So
twist to it. It is really good, though.
it is very good. And just like the visuals and like it's very suspenseful. And he just gave me so many nightmares. And I love books, so if I got like a possessed book, I'd be so freaking scared. I have a million books. Some of them I'm like, I didn't even know I had this book. So I could have gotten a Babadook book out there
You might.
in my living room and not known. I'm gonna read it.
So
Get
so the Babadook
possessed.
ghost only comes out if you read the book. He can't hurt you if you just leave the book closed and never touch it.
No, I think right when you read the book is when you unleash him.
I
right?
think so too, yeah, because at first the kid he starts talking about the Babadook, and she's like, shut up, like it's not real. But then she reads the book, and then it gets crazy.
And the book keeps adding to itself because it's like possessed, and she tries to get rid of it, and the book keeps coming back and being more and more like, you gon' die. And she starts seeing him around her house. She sees him like out when they're in the car.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm not going to say I will check that out because it will probably, if it scared you, it's definitely going to scare me. But listeners, check out the Babadook if you haven't seen it yet and you enjoy horror movies. Hawthorne, what is your scariest ghost?
Mine's also from a scary movie. Sorry, but
oh, I don't care.
Mine is Candyman from the movie Candyman. If you know who Candyman is.
I know that terrifying. You can't say his name 3 times.
Right?
I
thought it was 3
it's kind of
times.
Like Beetlejuice in that way.
It's actually 5. Candyman is 5 times.
I'm pretty sure we just said it 5 times.
Yeah, let's all be careful.
Yeah.
But you have to say it in a mirror, so I guess we're okay. And then if you say his name 5 times in the mirror, he shows himself to you, and he will kill you with the hook that is jammed into the bloody stump that is his right hand. And to this day, I've never done it.
Oh,
I never will. It scared the crap out of me when I was little. Don't know why my mom let me watch this. And it still scares me to this day at 26 years old.
Yeah, that's a bad. Any of those ones that like you can't stand in front of a mirror or like that happen at like a specific time. Those always get me the worst because I think I'm just gonna stumble into it somehow. Or like there's always the temptation of anytime you're standing in the mirror, like maybe I'll just say it and see what happens. But then you get to like the 4th one, you can't do it. You gotta walk away.
In a row. Like what if I've said it in like the mirror on accident, like 4 times throughout my whole life, and then on the 5th it's just gonna happen, like just throughout 25 years of me, messing around. I don't know. I try not to even say the word like candy in my bathroom, so.
Just in case he's listening.
Yes, he's so scary. God,
He did give me nightmares, though. He's terrifying.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I gotta go with you on that. Like I said, anything in front of a mirror or like little girl ghosts, those always get me too.
There's even a public bathroom scene, and I already hate using public restrooms at like parks or whatever. I mean, you have kids, so like I bet you know. They're always like dark and like damp and like nasty smelling. So there's a scene in the movie where a little boy gets murdered by Candyman in the bathroom, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like that could have been me, going pee and just messing around. So I don't like Candyman. He's scary.
Yeah, that makes sense. So my award for scariest ghost, and I don't know because I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but I have seen it. Goes to the ghosts in the house in the movie The Haunting, the newer one that came out in like the late 90s.
I don't
know.
No.
Nothing?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
I believe I think Owen Wilson was in the movie and some other people.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it was late 90s. And basically there's these 5 people. The second Scary Movie spoofed The Haunting.
Oh, is that the one where they have like the sleep? They're like checking their sleep schedules or some shit.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
Yeah.
how they get them in there. But there's
Yeah,
like 5 or
okay,
6
I've
people
seen
that
that one. I know
come
that
together
one.
in this haunted house. And so I was in my I was 10 to 12 years old when this movie came out, and my mom was a high school volleyball coach, and I would go on all the bus trips with her. So like these girls on her team had seen the movie and I had not, and they were like talking about it amongst themselves, and I overheard them. And they talked about there's a scene where like one of the women in the house is doing her hair in front of the mirror, and then she like stops for a second, and a ghost just keeps doing it for her, but she can't see the ghost, just like there's this entity doing her hair for her in the style that the dead woman's child would do her hair, basically.
Jesus.
So she's like combing her hair, and then all of a sudden it keeps combing. And so I had never seen the movie at this point, but heard them telling the story amongst each other, and I had nightmares about it for years after that. And then I eventually saw the movie, and I was like, yeah, that's scary. I was right on
I
there.
have to watch it now. I actually haven't seen that movie.
I think I've seen it once a long time ago.
It's pretty good. I probably saw it like 5 or 6 years ago, and it held up. Like I wasn't bored during it, and it didn't seem cheesy or anything like that. And then it's a remake of an earlier horror movie with the same name that came from like the 50s
Owen
or
Wilson
60s.
like classic Owen Wilson, or is he like different? Because I noticed he's really typecast.
So this was before he was typecast, but he's like the charming one
exciting.
in the
I'm glad
house.
to hear that.
But he still has his Owen Wilson
Does he
voice,
go,
so he's still
"Wow"?
typical Owen Wilson.
I couldn't tell you. Probably. But yeah, he wasn't quite like I'm just gonna be this goofball throughout the whole movie. But he was like the comic
good.
relief part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are our scariest ghosts. Now let's move on to most helpful ghost. Hawthorne, you go
well,
first.
this was the one we had the same one on, so I'm glad you said I could go first so I can use it. Thank you. It's already sister rivalry, so
Thanks.
here we
Whatever.
go. I chose Moaning Myrtle.
Not like I gave you the idea.
Sorry. So I chose Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter. I chose her.
Great choice.
Oh yeah, thank you. She she helps Harry Potter out more than once. In the Chamber of Secrets, she tells them about the obelisk and how like if you look at him, you get killed, and that's how she died. And then she even shows them where the entrance to the chamber is, like in the sink. And then in the Goblet of Fire, she tells Harry Potter that you have to go underwater with the egg in the bath, because Cedric's like, oh, just take a bath with it. Like, that doesn't tell him what to do, And then she's like, no.
Yeah, after she creepily checks him out for like several minutes.
Yeah, she's like, I just watched all the other people come take baths, now I'm going to watch you. You need to go underwater. Yeah.
That's me as a ghost, by the way.
She is extremely helpful. We actually just did an episode on Harry Potter.
I have to check that out. A lot of people don't know how much of like actual nerds Amaryllis and I really are. Like, we love horror. It's always been a part of our lives because our mom never like shielded us from the TV. But I mean, a lot of people don't know, like, we're actually really avid gamers and Harry Potter nerds, Pokemon fanatics. Yeah.
And anime.
Nice.
Horror is just one of the niches that we share, and we thought it'd be a great podcast.
I think you have to be a lot of bit of nerd to have a podcast. I was doing all these guest spots that I've been doing. I've found that like really you have to kind of have that
like the
thought
best
process.
People though.
Well, yeah,
it makes it fun.
We're not using this term derogatorily, but nerds like overthink everything. So that's why we can have long conversations on any topic, basically.
Yeah. I agree. Like, our movie episodes, they're really like at least 2 hours long. I have to just cut them because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much talking.
They're basically as long as watching the actual movie is.
But we try to cut them down because, it's really long.
And also we like to ramble a lot about like random things. We get sidetracked a lot.
Yeah, that's okay.
What's your most helpful ghost?
My most helpful ghost is not Moaning Myrtle. I actually did not, being a huge Harry Potter fan, I did not use any Harry Potter ghosts. After I was kind of going through the list with my wife, she was like, "You didn't use anything from Harry Potter," and I was like, "Oh shit!" But I didn't like him over any of the. I think actually she suggested Moaning Myrtle for this one, so I'm glad I didn't use that. I went with Bruce Willis from The Sixth Sense.
That's a scary movie.
That is a scary movie. I said all of them aren't scary movies, but some of them are.
Well, both of yours have been scary movies so far. So.
Yeah, the not scary movies come later. 2 of the 3 are not scary movies.
I just watched The Sixth Sense not that long ago, and it's really good.
You just watched it for the first time not that long ago, or you just like rewatched it?
No, like just again. Yeah, I just rewatched it.
I didn't see it until like 8 years after it came out, maybe, and just because like I didn't see it when it was in theaters because I was too young, and where I lived it was a small town, so there was nowhere to go. Like we had to drive 45 minutes to get to the nearest movie theater. So we only went for like movies we wanted to see. So this one I didn't see until I was in high school, and we were watching it on some like BS end of the year day kind of thing, and somebody ruined the twist for me.
Oh.
But it was still good. Even knowing the twist, it was still good. Like it's just a pretty solid movie. It doesn't really hold up to a lot of scrutiny if you try and overthink it, but it's fun if you just kind of turn your brain off and let it take you where it wants to go. It's fun to watch, and as a ghost psychiatrist, Bruce Willis does a great job of helping Haley Joel Osment down his path of, I guess, helping other ghosts is what the resolution was.
Mm-hmm. I like that movie because I used to be in love with Haley Joel Osment, and then he grew up
and got fat and beardy and
his face stayed the same size.
Totally.
Yeah,
he could have been really handsome, you guys. He could have been so handsome.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with fat and beardy people, but it doesn't work on him for some reason.
See,
Amaryllis, tell him what you said in Tusk. Remember what you said about Haley Joel Osment's face?
Yeah, his face just stayed the same size. Like, it grew out, but it stayed in the same, like, little circle.
Yeah, like his actual physical face, like his skull grew, but his features did not. Like, he still has...
it just stayed there, so it looks really awkward on him.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Sorry, Haley Joel Osment, if you're listening to this.
I'm sorry too.
You look weird.
Shrink your head or something. I don't know.
Oh my god.
All right, Amaryllis, what is your most helpful ghost?
My most helpful ghost is from the movie 13 Ghosts, which is probably one of my favorite horror movies ever. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've heard it's very good, but I haven't seen it.
You have to.
Please do. It's so good. It has Tony Shalhoub from Monk in it, so that's the main reason I watched it, because I love Monk. But
Monk is good.
Basically, there's the mom, which is Tony Shalhoub's wife, who died in a fire, and she becomes a ghost in this giant, like, ghost house thing with all these 12 other, like, really vengeful evil spirits. And she is the one helpful ghost who is trying to, like, she tries to help her family throughout the whole thing. She's trying to talk to her son and be like, don't follow the evil ghost, put these glasses on, you'll be able to see, all the ghosts, because you need special glasses to see them, I guess.
Right, okay.
And
makes
in
sense.
the end, she, like, helps save her family, like, actually save her whole family from the evil guy's plan, which was to have Tony Shalhoub kill himself and become the 13th ghost to, like, unlock the demon eye thingy to unleash hell or something.
Obviously.
But
makes sense.
And it's really sweet because she's just, she just wants to help her family even after death. And I'm like, oh, I wish my mom was like that.
Oh.
I have a question.
Hey, maybe if her mom dies, she'll be a nice ghost.
No.
Could be. No, you don't think so?
She could.
Bro.
I have a question about these ghost house movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you guys are more experts than I am, so I feel comfortable asking here. Why don't the people ever just leave? Like, I know some of them, the ghosts follow you, but, like, in other ones, the house is the actual haunted place. Why not just leave?
Sometimes it stops them, though.
Yeah. Like in
13 Ghosts, they're in a clock.
Yeah, and it has, like, a mechanism and, like, locked all the gates, so the whole house is, like, locked down and they can't get out until, like, sunrise.
For, like, 13 hours or something, yeah.
And then in like,
And then even like House on Haunted Hill, you know, they have to stay there overnight or whatever. But I agree. I don't know why they don't. I don't even know why they go in the first place. Is the real question.
Right. Like
They shouldn't even go.
So like Amityville Horror, Haunting in Connecticut, all those types of movies, which I've seen both of those, surprisingly.
Both good. Both good.
They know the house is haunted before they move into it. Or like if the previous owner tells me that a house is haunted, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm out. I don't care if it's perfect.
Exactly.
We lived in a haunted house. Exact same way. Remember
we did?
Yeah.
We actually, yep.
You lived in it, or like you were just in it?
No, we lived.
No, we lived there for almost a year. We didn't make it that long.
Yeah. Did you get haunted while you were there?
I did.
Amaryllis did. I did not.
That's interesting.
We were swimming. Me and Hawthorne were swimming in the backyard, and we lived across from a graveyard, actually.
Yep.
And Hawthorne's like, hey, let's see who can hold our breath underwater the longest. And I'm like really short, but we were in like the 3 feet water. And I know I was not like 3 feet tall. So all we did was dunk our heads underwater, and we're like, okay, we're going to hold our breath. And I feel something pull me down and hold me down by my leg and like drag me down. And I'm fighting to get up. I'm trying. But it's holding me down. I'm like 9, 10 years old. So
yeah, and it was strange because I was, you know, I'm older than her. So I'm like, I know I can beat her at holding our breath the longest, you know.
And then you grabbed her leg and pulled her down.
No, I'm just watching her holding her breath and like staying a champ. I'm like, okay. So I end up getting out of the water to go get a towel or a drink or something, and I come back and she's still under there.
Yep.
I'm like, oh shit. So I jump in the water and I look and her face is blue. Her eyes are wide open and she's looking at me like, help me.
Yep.
I pull her out of the water. I'm 13 years old. I don't know how to give CPR. I figure it out. And my grandma's trying to open. Yeah, my grandma's trying to open the sliding glass door and it won't open. So I start chucking rocks as hard as I can at the sliding glass door. The door is not breaking. Finally, I like punch her in the chest as hard as I can for no reason, like breathe, you know. And she just starts throwing up water, and the door opens.
Yep. And I threw up water for a good like 10 minutes. I was still blue and really cold, and everyone's like, what happened? And I was like, something held me down. You know, I really couldn't move. And my mom was like, nah, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, you know, why would I make this up? And they're like, oh, it must have been your brother. I was the only one in the pool.
Yeah, a couple weeks later, it happened to our little brother, who was only 3 at the time. He's been messed up ever since. And then it happened to our aunt, and then we moved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
3 people almost drowning to move.
Wow, so I am a classic non-believer in ghosts.
I'm the exact same.
But then it happened to me.
Right, yeah, so if something doesn't actually happen to me, like I have a hard time believing, but like from that story, I want to believe. Like I'm not going to call you a liar here.
The craziest thing is it didn't ever go near me or my mom. I don't know why.
Just the young kids and the aunt.
So,
and your aunt, yeah.
The only time I had ever seen anything was Amaryllis and I had shared a room at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she wakes me up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, what do you want, little sister? You know, like, I'm trying to sleep. I'm an angsty teen. And she is pointing at the wall above my bed. Like, I was on the left side of the room, and she's on the right. And she's just pointing, like, her eyes are huge, and she's kind of shaking her finger, like, looking at the wall. And I'm like, what? I look up. There is a red demon face on the wall.
It was so scary.
It looked like a light had came through and made a shadow. So I jump up out of bed and I open the curtain to let the light in. The face is gone. I close it and it was like closer.
And so we turned on the light to see if it disappeared, and we turned it back on, and it was like bigger. And our room literally stared at the graveyard across the street.
Like directly at the cemetery right there.
Yeah, it's time to move out of that house.
We booked it out of there, told our aunt, and then like a couple weeks later it tried to kill our aunt. So, I don't know.
We had the house blessed.
I never was a believer until this.
Remember?
Yep, we had the house blessed. It actually made it worse.
Yep, he got mad.
And, we all moved out of there. We actually had to live in an apartment for a long time after that because, you know, my mom and aunt, they had like bought the house.
We had 5 kids living in Grandma's apartment.
Yep.
Wow.
Plus grandma and our uncle and mom. So there was
It was
like 10 people in a
yeah.
2-bedroom.
Yeah, it was insane.
At least there were no ghosts trying to kill you anymore, at least.
No. We were good.
Oh, okay.
Sorry we went on for a minute.
No, that's great content. I don't know how to move on now. We're not going to top that. We might as well end it now.
No, we
I
totally
think
can. Now we can go into the saddest death.
Right?
did Amaryllis give a most helpful ghost? Yeah, you did 13 ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
So we did all those. Okay, saddest death. I'll go first on this one because I haven't gone first yet. The saddest death story for someone becoming a ghost. I took Casper from the 90s Casper movie.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as a small child. I don't know that I'd like it now, but I haven't tried to watch it either. It might still be good. So his death was caused by he got a sled for Christmas, and he just went outside and kept riding on his sled until he died of hypothermia, basically.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he tells the story to is Wendy her name? Christina Ricci's character.
I want to say Wendy.
Yeah, I think it's Wendy. And so because he's like showing her around his room and showing her all this stuff, and he pulls out the sled and he says, I got this for Christmas, and I just wanted to ride it so bad. My parents told me to come in, and I just kept telling him one more, and eventually he didn't come back in.
But it's not even his fault. It's his parents' fault.
Yeah, you got to go out there and drag him in at some point.
Yeah.
But that's still sad.
Oh, hella sad.
It's always sad when
his parents probably hate themselves and they hate Christmas now.
Yeah, so his parents aren't ghosts. There's the 3 other ghosts in the house, and I think they're like his uncles or something.
I don't even.
But his parents never become ghosts. I would have to think like they should probably become ghosts too if you let your child die that way.
Right? Wouldn't they have like the most resentment, and they could be a happy ghost family, or?
Could be. I don't know. But yeah, that's mine.
That is really sad.
Let's keep bumming everybody out.
Yeah. This is actually a podcast about sadness, is what's happening.
Yes.
Amaryllis, you go.
Okay. My saddest death or reason for becoming a ghost was the ghost kids from Coraline.
Oh, yes.
I love the movie
I didn't see that
Coraline.
one either.
I literally just watched it again yesterday. And it just makes me really sad because these little kids, they were promised a happier life from their bad situation by some monster lady.
The Beldam.
And she's like, oh, yeah, the Beldam. And she's like, you can live here and be happy forever and get anything you want. All you need is for me to sew buttons in your eyes. And I'm sure the kids don't know that means I'm going to kill you.
No, I wouldn't know that.
I'm like, okay.
Right? You're just like, okay, I'm going to be a button-eyed person like you and I'll live. No, and then, they die. And then she gets bored with them and kills another kid. Like, that's just so sad if you imagine being a little, 8-year-old kid who's, probably abused at home, and then someone comes in and is like, oh, I'll give you a happy life, this and that, and then you get killed and turned into a ghost in purgatory?
Oh, yeah.
It's just depressing.
That's a bummer. All right, let's get this last one done with so we can move on to the next category.
All right.
Try and have fun again.
My saddest ghost death is from the Amityville Horror, the 2005 Ryan Reynolds one.
That's the one I've seen.
Yep, that's a good one. And I think the saddest death is the little ghost girl, Jody. She knew she was going to die. She heard all the other gunshots, so she hides in the closet. Like most kids, they have a happy place, or they go under the bed, under the blanket. But for her, it was the closet. And, she's hiding, and she's doing her best to, be quiet, but she's a little kid, she does her best, but she still gets murdered. And I just thought it was really sad because she's, an innocent little girl who gets murdered for, literally no reason. Yeah.
Was that when Ryan Reynolds was going on his rampage, or, the first owner?
The first owner.
Went on.
She is the one who helps Ryan Reynolds' daughter or whatever. They pranked the babysitter, remember? Jody makes the babysitter touch the bullet hole in her head.
Yes, and it freaks me out.
And the babysitter ends up going into shock, and the kids have to call the ambulance because they're like, She won't wake up because Jody scared her so bad. That's not her fault.
Do you blame her if a little ghost girl made you touch her bullet hole?
I mean, yeah, little ghost girls are rough.
Yeah. I looked a lot like that little ghost girl when I was little.
She looked the exact same. Except no bullet hole in the head.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Unfortunately.
All right, let's move. Good.
Just kidding.
So you would rather
No,
have a
I'm
bullet
just-
hole in your head?
I'm just kidding. Actually, up until this year, I thought I was adopted, so.
Oh my god, I know. She kept telling our whole fucking family, I'm adopted. And I'm like, dude,
I had
You're
valid
not.
reasons, okay?
we look the exact same. And we act the same.
Because
Stop.
we grew up together.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast about adoption later.
Okay.
Let's move past all the sadness now, and let's go to the strangest and dumbest place or thing a ghost haunts. Amaryllis, I think it's your turn to go first.
Okay. The dumbest thing that I think a ghost haunts is from the movie Stay Alive with Frankie Muniz. And there's like the witch ghost. I don't remember her name. Something stupid. And she haunts a video game, of all things.
Oh, I
And,
think
like,
I've seen parts of that
It came
movie.
out in like
I really
2005,
like the
I
movie.
think.
Yeah, and when Frankie Muniz was like a
Yeah.
thing.
When he was like a person.
I was just saying, I was like, is he still a thing? But
I don't think
yeah,
so.
so the ghost haunts like the video game, and to play it is to like summon her or whatever. And in the end, like all the copies of the games go out, and it's like, oh, the ghost is gonna haunt all of these. How is the ghost gonna haunt every single copy? There's one ghost.
I don't
She
know.
can't go haunt
The girl in the
10,000
ring
copies.
does.
Yeah, but she only does it like one person at a time, right? In the ring?
Yeah.
I thought if they made a copy of the movie, she could go to the next movie.
Yeah, but she has 7
too.
days to catch up. You know what I mean? Like,
I
you know,
guess
you
that's
watch
true.
it on Tuesday,
Yeah.
I watch it on Wednesday. You're gonna die next Tuesday, I'm gonna die next Wednesday. Like, she got time to get to all of us?
Like, this ghost cannot go kill 20,000 people all at once. So I just think that's really dumb. But I like the movie a lot. It freaked me out because they're playing PS2, and every time I would play the PS2, I'd be like, oh crap, do I have a haunted video game? But, I mean, I'm
You
still
never know
here,
what those programmers are putting
Hey,
into
Clock Tower was really
right?
haunted.
Oh my god. If you've never played Clock Tower,
them. No, I
Game
haven't
is
heard of
scary.
that.
Scariest
Terrifying.
game ever.
me and Hawthorne had to like hold hands
Praying.
in the light,
Like,
and it took a good 10 years
Yeah.
to beat the first one.
And that's
yes,
enjoyable for
it
you.
was great.
Yes.
It was such a bonding experience,
Okay.
you know?
It was
I guess
so
so.
good. I tried to beat it again like last year, and I turned it on, and like the first visuals, I'm like, nope, turned it off, called her.
Well,
I'm
it's
like,
funny because in this game, the blood is yellow. It's like yellow blood. So it's kind of different. And I don't know.
It's really old PS1 graphics, and
Yeah.
it's a side scroller, so it's really hard to even move or navigate, and you die a lot.
Yeah, there's
and
like
it's really
26
scary.
ways to die, and you have to get them all. Like, it's so weird. Oh my god, it's so
That's
fun.
interesting.
It's a great game.
I never heard of that one. I'll have to check that out.
It is.
It's good.
If I need to call one of you and hold your hands throughout it,
Yeah.
we're good for
You
that?
got our word.
Yes.
All right, cool. Strangest, dumbest place or thing a ghost haunts for Hawthorne.
Mine is kind of sad again, but it's okay. I kind of put a twist on it, I guess. So in The Conjuring #1, they move into a haunted house, and they're like, oh, it's perfect, like we just talked about. And to me, the dumbest haunted thing is the little ghost boy. He haunts his little circus tent spinning toy thing. It has a mirror in it, and if you spin it, you can see him behind you. And I thought it was dumb that he was haunting it, because it wasn't even with him when he died. So, like, how did he haunt it? His mother drowned him in the
It was his
lake,
favorite thing.
and then shoved the toy into a hollowed-out tree trunk. How the hell did he find it? He, like, was a ghost, and
I mean,
he
he's
was
a
like,
ghost.
oh, let me find my toy?
Yeah,
I just
ghosts
thought it
can
was
do
so
whatever they
stupid.
want.
Why didn't he haunt the lake? I would have haunted the lake and, like, drowned boats.
He's a little kid. He can't
Jason's
haunt a
already in
whole
the
lake.
I think it was stupid, okay? My valid argument. Point.
I agree with you. There's so much better things you could haunt than a
Yeah,
spinny
like,
toy.
come
I
on
think.
now.
Whatever. He's a kid. It's the first thing he
No.
thought of.
I guess, but like she said, how does he find it? Like if he goes to his room and finds it because that's where the mother left it, all right, I get it a little more. But if she put it in a tree,
Because after he died, he became a ghost and he could see
Oh
where
my
she was
God,
going.
no,
so he's like,
no.
oh, that's where she put my toys.
No.
Okay.
you're
I think
doing way
so.
too much work on
Yes, she always
rationalizing
does.
this.
Whatever.
Well, no, that's a good thing, but if you have to rationalize it that much, then it's probably a dumb place to
I just thought it was
a dumb
dumb.
thing to haunt.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm
Don't be
just
judging little ghost children. Okay.
I'm judging.
So this was my hardest category to nail down because, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of horror movies, and I didn't want to go with like Scary Movie or something like that, where the whole purpose of it is supposed to be dumb. I wanted it to be like a horror movie in earnest, that the haunting is happening to something stupid. The best I could come up with is the movie Shudder from the mid 2000s.
Oh, with the camera.
With the camera and the pictures.
Yes, that's a good movie. That's a great movie.
I love that
I'm not sure about that, but
he's a murderer.
I just did he murder her?
Yes, he murders his first girlfriend, and the ghost is trying to warn her, like, "Hey, get out of here. He's psycho."
Yeah, but aren't there better ways to do it than through his camera and the pictures he's taking? Like,
but he's like gone a lot, remember? What? And she's like home all the time, and she's going through his stuff.
I guess, but they're like. There's better ways to get in touch with something, like, because she's got, think of the ghost having to do all this, like, she has to set in motion all of these different pictures that she has to haunt to warn the new girlfriend.
Isn't
like,
she Asian?
Just like go tap on her shoulder. Yes.
And isn't the new girlfriend Asian?
The dead one is. Maybe.
They're both really smart, so I'm pretty sure she was like, I gotta challenge her brain so she understands what happened to me.
I'm going to set up this puzzle with all these pictures, but not every picture he takes, just some random ones I'll insert myself into, and eventually the new girlfriend will figure out that I'm here and trying to help her out.
You know what? She just likes puzzles, okay? So as a ghost, she's just making a puzzle for people. Why do I have to keep defending all the ghosts against you guys?
Psychiatrist or whatever.
Instead of devil's advocate, I play the ghost advocate.
You know, ghosts need somebody to stick up for them.
And that's me. That's my role.
We appreciate
it. Just to talk about it really quick, I personally don't believe in like ghosts, but I do believe in like demons. I don't think a ghost was like at our house. I think it was like a demonic presence.
Oh, it felt demonic, and our aunt had like red hand marks on her leg after she got pulled into the pool. So ghosts don't leave red hand marks.
Yeah, so I definitely think it was a demon, you know?
Right, because like ghosts aren't supposed to like physically be able to impact
like
anything.
You. Yeah.
So yeah, it would have to be, I guess, a poltergeist would be the, like Peeves in Harry Potter. He can affect things because he's a poltergeist, which is different from a ghost. So he can actually interact with the physical world. And then you have the movie Poltergeist also, where crazy things happen.
Dude, Poltergeist is so scary.
Yeah, I left that off my list.
Yes.
Yeah, it's... Have you read the Poltergeist, like, curse?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
About all the crap that happened on stage.
Yeah.
And to like, most of the people that acted in it, and yeah, it's...
They're dead? Like, that's insane.
Conspiracies.
So I don't mess with no poltergeists.
No, they definitely don't qualify for our final category of best ghost that you would want to hang out with most.
I'm so excited.
The one I want to hang out with is the one in the TV. Because he seems cool.
Yeah, he would just Netflix and chill with you all day.
When he sucks you into the TV, are you, like, enjoying TV now that you're inside there? Can you interact with TV shows? Or, like, are you just seeing the static from the outside?
That would be the best.
That would be cool.
What show would you want to be in? 30 seconds ago.
Oh my god. I don't know. Oh my god, a cooking show. Cooking show so I can eat all the food.
I mean,
I don't have to be on it. I just get to, like, eat their stuff.
I'd have to go with Seinfeld, I think.
No, that's the worst show on television.
Okay, we're gonna have to hang up right now.
Oh my god. I would want to be in the cartoon Adventure Time. Boom.
How is Seinfeld the worst show on television? It's literally the best sitcom ever.
Dumb.
It's the worst sitcom ever? Sorry.
I hate it. I've seen every episode because it was the only thing on our little cable box that our stupid TV would pick up.
That was probably the ghosts in your house trying to get you to watch something good.
That's why I tried to kill everyone.
Right, you guys didn't like it. Didn't like Seinfeld, so they had a grudge.
You know what it is? I can't stand Jerry Seinfeld. I don't think he's funny. I hate his voice. I hate his teeth.
He's so annoying.
He's so ugly. He's
To
not
be
funny.
fair,
I liked Kramer.
no, to be fair, Jerry
liked
is the
Kramer.
worst character on the show.
Yes, so I don't like him. I like Kramer or whatever.
But it's his show, so of course he's in every episode and the main person.
So maybe if
that's
they
why I
did
don't like
Seinfeld
watching
where
it.
he dies in the first episode and then he never comes back, then it'd be great.
I also like George
Yeah, like
Costanza.
everyone else is great, but
So
him.
you literally just don't like Jerry Seinfeld. Okay,
Yes.
I'll give you that a
Yes,
little
I
bit.
hate him so much.
He's like, what's up with airline food? Like, shut up, dude. You're so stupid. I would fight Jerry Seinfeld right now.
Let's
Yeah.
tag
we'll-
him
we'll
in
see if
this
we can make that
after it's
happen.
posted.
Stupid.
He's like in his mid to late 60s now. You could probably
Yeah,
take
we
him.
have like the same kind of body type though, because I'm like really frail and old. I do no physical activity.
Yeah.
The least, the better.
I could live with that.
Yep. Sometimes
All
I
right,
open a
so
soda.
best ghost.
Ooh, what's your best ghost?
It's going to be when Jerry Seinfeld dies. It will be him.
Well, not yet.
That's the worst
My
ghost.
best ghost was Slimer from Ghostbusters. Because I
Really?
feel like I could just hang out and eat food with him all day.
I thought it was weird in the
Yes.
Ghostbusters show that they made him like a pet dog, kind of. Have you ever seen the cartoon?
Well, see, yeah, but that's kind of what I like about him.
Oh.
Like, I can just chill and, like, yeah, he's kind of an asshole, which is nice too. Like, we can just terrorize people, but most of the time we'll just be spent eating whatever we can find.
That does seem fun. I love to eat and cause ruckuses.
Yeah, so that,
Same.
you know, out of the Ghostbusters ghosts, he's definitely the one. Like, you don't want the lady in the library. You're just going to be sitting there reading all day. That's no fun.
What?
And then she's going to be...
Then that's my favorite
She's going to
one.
be telling you... You're going to make you put the book back. You probably can't raise your voice too much. Like, I don't know about that.
Funny story. Amaryllis is actually
my dream
she's
job
going to
as a
school to become a
librarian.
librarian.
That's fine. But if I have to hang out with you for all of eternity and you make me put... Every time I read a book, you make me put it back, like, that's not going to be a long friendship. I'm sorry.
That's true. You should be able to mess up the library if your best friend's a librarian.
Or a ghost librarian.
Yeah, I would like to knock down one of those big bookshelves in the
Whatever.
library with like all the books and cause like that domino effect. I've always wanted to do that.
Okay, you're
No,
never
when I'm like
invited to my
terminally
library.
ill, I'll be like, whoops, and I'll do it.
Ever. How are you even gonna move it if you're terminally ill and you said you're
I'm gonna
already
do
frail?
one steroid that day.
I don't think that's how steroids work.
PCP then? Which ones that make you all crazy?
That could
Okay.
work.
I'll
That could
do
work.
one
PCP,
lick of a
like angel
PCP,
dust.
whatever it looks like, and I'll get super grandma strength, and I'll push over some bookshelves, and then I'll roll away in my wheelchair. That'll be fine.
Or you just go to the end of it and then you become the library ghost. You'd go to the end of it, you have the last bookshelf fall on you. It's a good way to go out. And then you haunt the library.
Knock
But
down
then
the
some of the
bookshelf
books
all
don't
you
have like
want.
blood on it, and that's like a waste of books.
Do it in like the reference
The
section.
You'll be so
Reference
old and have
section.
no blood left. You're fine.
Nobody uses that anymore because the internet exists.
That's a good best ghost though. Slimer is cute. I also like his shade of green.
He's pretty dope.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a good
cool.
green.
Yeah, you want to use a ghost with some color instead of like just the basic pale
Yeah,
ghost.
that's like super lame. Or you know what? You know what my best ghost should
Wow,
have
my
been?
ghost is a pale
It
ghost.
should have been
okay.
friggin' Patrick Swayze because he's
Wow.
fine. It's not Patrick Swayze.
You had the opportunity.
I
you
totally had the
to pick
opportunity, but it's fine.
it. You can change. Nobody
I
knows what
told
your actual
you,
pick
but you're
was.
like,
you can change
No,
it now.
I wanna stay with my best ghost. It's Beetlejuice. He seems like we'd have a great time, dude. Just chilling, messing stuff up. His clothes are really good. He's like really hot, low key. Like, I love Beetlejuice. Dude, my husband's
my
being
God.
Beetlejuice for Halloween. I'm so excited. So excited.
I'll give you Beetlejuice. That's kind of along the same lines of
Mhm.
Slimer. You just get to fuck shit up for whenever you
Yeah.
want.
And he's always down.
And
I could
what
be
it-
like, you want to, like, I don't even know, go do anything? And he'd be like, yeah, let's go do this, blah. And he's, like, magic, kind of, so we can, like, make it happen.
And he's easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, you just gotta draw a door with chalk and say his
You just
name.
gotta call him 3
Yeah,
times.
you don't have to worry about like, oh shit, he doesn't have cell service where he is. Like, you just say his name, he'll show up.
Yeah, he'll be there. It's a good movie.
I like
too.
that choice.
Oh my God.
Beetlejuice is a very good movie. I'm still waiting for the sequel that is going to take place in Hawaii, which has been off and on for like 30 years.
That's weird.
Yeah, it sounded weird.
Weird fact is actually that's where we're from. Me and
Hawaii is?
Yep.
Nice. That's
we're
good.
Hawaiians.
Well, see, now when the Beetlejuice...
I'm the only one who looks like it, though.
Yeah.
When the Beetlejuice sequel comes out, you'll be able to go back to where your home is and figure out how to get to hang out with him.
Is it going to be original Beetlejuice?
Oh
It was like Ghostbusters 3 where it kind of went in and out of production several times over the last 30 years, but everything I've heard is it's supposed to still be Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder.
I love Winona Ryder.
That would be so cute.
Yeah, she's good.
She's really cute.
All right, the last...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, especially in Stranger Things. I love Winona Ryder in Stranger Things.
She's very good in that.
So good. She needs a Xanax, but she's very good.
Well, I mean, if your kid
Xanax.
disappears twice into a different dimension, like, you're not gonna... I don't even think Xanax is gonna help calm you down at that point.
No, for sure. But I love it because, like you said, it's so on point. If you're a parent and you have to just think, like, hey, my kid is somewhere I can't do anything for him.
You can set up a string of Christmas lights.
Yeah, and people thought she was so psychotic. She's like losing friends over this, and she's right. I love Winona Ryder. She's great.
Fair enough.
Yep. Sorry, I was drinking water.
It's okay. The last best ghost. Go for it.
Oh, mine's really lame now. Thanks, but mine is from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Zero the dog. Because he's so cute.
That's not lame. That's super cool.
I would love to hang out with the dog ghost all the time. I'm not allowed to have a dog in my apartment. They can't say anything about a dog ghost.
That's true.
That's true, because he just disappears when they come around to inspect.
Or he could
and
hide.
he could play fetch.
He could act like
and
he's
just adorable. Then maybe I'd be able to meet, Jack Skellington and marry him.
I don't know if
Well, no, you only get to hang out with one ghost.
Yeah.
He's not a ghost, though. He's a skeleton.
Ooh, true.
I guess.
His name's not Jack Ghostington.
That's true.
Dude, she's always like this, so logical. Like, well, it's not like if she wore glasses, she'd be pushing the rim up all the time. Well, it's not like, okay, girl, jeez, we get it. You're smart.
Plus, with the ghost dog, you don't have to worry about all the shitty parts of owning a dog, like having
to,
if you forgot to feed it, you're good.
And
do you think that's how Zero died? Like they forgot to feed him?
Oh.
Probably.
We need to look it up later.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a long history of Zero the dog on Wikipedia or something. Somebody has the time to do that.
Looking it up.
Okay, let us know.
Okay.
We're waiting with bated breath.
Oh my god, don't!
I hope
Just
he
keep
didn't
going.
run in front of a car or something, because that's really sad.
Every time I see those cartoons and the dog chasing after the car, I always wonder, like, what are they gonna do when they get to it? Like, what is the end game there?
I don't think they ever get to it.
Okay,
do dogs really chase
you win.
He said how.
I don't think I've ever seen a dog actually chase a particular car.
I can't actually. I found him, but it doesn't say like he was murdered by like something. Do you guys have any podcast stickers or anything for your podcast?
Not
We
yet.
should say like whoever gets the answer or whatever, we'll like send them a sticker. I mean, we only have one sticker out right now, but
Okay, if anyone can find how Zero the dog became a ghost, you get a sticker from the Grave
all of
Girls.
the stickers.
And if I have a sticker by the time this goes up, you can get one from me too.
no, this is about him like getting
Does
lost.
it say how he died?
And something.
Is that what happened? Did he get lost in the woods and die in front of the tree to?
Or maybe his owner,
Going
like,
from?
what's it called? With the dog, and he has to kill him.
Oh, where he gets rabies?
Yeah, maybe.
But then
Old
I would
Yeller?
think the ghost
Yeah.
dog would be rabid, because you would
Oh,
become a ghost in whatever state you were in when
Yeah.
you died.
Maybe they just made Zero like fetch something off of a cliff, and he just died like that.
Let's go with that. We're gonna stick with that until somebody on Twitter
just
gives us a better
evil.
answer. That is
Please give us
the
a better
resonating theory
answer.
for the
I don't
whole
like
world
that
now
one.
is that Zero the dog jumped off a cliff fetching something and died. Okay, so those are our awards for the best ghost movies, or the Ghost Movie Awards, or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure out a catchy name for it. Thank you for joining me to the Grave Girls. Do you guys want to plug one more time?
We should call the awards
Check
the
us out
Ghosties,
on
by the way.
wherever. The Ghosties.
Yep.
Ghosties. There we go. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I feel bad that I'm not like, oh my god, check us out more. I just feel like if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't.
I mean, I think we're cool.
We like podcasting.
We've gotten some pretty positive reviews.
If you like horror movies, check them out because it is fun to listen to them. If you don't like horror movies, try because it's still fun to listen to them.
We try to scare the crap out of you and then make you laugh.
Mainly make you laugh.
That's our goal. Yes.
That's fair.
Mainly.
Sometimes. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
It was super good and
Dude,
fun.
this is fun.
Hey, this is an ad about something. Audible, to be exact. Audible is a great way to catch up on all your favorite stories while on the go. Audible includes an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, comedy, and more from the leading audiobook publishers. I've been using Audible for years on my daily commute to catch up on some of my favorite fantasy stories, including Harry Potter, The Once and Future King, and A Song of Ice and Fire, narrated by the Guinness World Record holder Roy Dotrice. I also love getting Audible's recommendations. Just recently, Audible recommended that I read Armada and Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and Spectacularly narrated by Will Wheaton. I listened to both of these stories and loved them both because the narration by Will Wheaton just made the stories even more enjoyable and immersive than if I would have read them on my own. So if you love books, I've got some great news for you. Right now, for my listeners, you can get any audiobook you want from Audible for free when you sign up for your free trial of Audible using audibletrial.com/a-podcast-about-something. Again, to download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/a-podcast-about-something. Thanks for listening. And now it's time for the 2-minute ISO. But first, listen to this promo from one of my fellow podcasters.
Hey folks, Big E here with some breaking news. My podcast, Karaoke Big E, was just named the #1 karaoke podcast of all time. Don't believe me? Well, you shouldn't. That category definitely does not exist. My co-host Kevmo and I are in a league of our own when it comes to podcasts. So why don't you check out the world's best, well, probably only, karaoke podcast, Karaoke Big E. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever else you get your podcast, or you can check us out at karaokebige.com. Come on by every Tuesday and give us a listen, and remember, you can't be a star if you don't shine.
Since this is our Halloween special, or what have you, we did ghost movies, and we just kind of talked about spooky stuff, and it's the week of Halloween, so pretty much this is the Halloween special. I wanted to talk about my favorite Halloween things in the 2-minute ISO today. Just a couple quick ones, I guess. I'm not going to get too deep into anything. My favorite Halloween candy by far is Reese's Cup, like the small. If you want to give me a full-size Reese's Cup, I'll be very happy with that, but more like the mini Reese's Cups, I like those, because usually you don't get full-size candies on Halloween. But really anything peanut butter and chocolate, you mix that together, I'm there. I don't really like for Easter and Halloween, sometimes they do Reese's Cup shapes, like they'll have eggs for Halloween or pumpkins for Halloween, that's what it is. I don't like those. The peanut butter to chocolate ratio is not right in any of those. So I like the mini cups or the full-size cups if you're giving out full-size cups. Reese's Pieces I like, but I prefer the cups. So that's my favorite candy. My favorite costume that I ever wore was when I was a kid, I wore it was like a knockoff White Power Ranger costume. And it didn't matter that it was a knockoff to me. It was cool. I was the White Ranger. That was pretty awesome. I always loved the Power Rangers, as I've talked about many times. So it was cool to be a Power Ranger for a day. And I wasn't a big dress-up kid for the most part, but I would, even outside of Halloween, I would wear that costume sometimes and just pretend to be a Power Ranger because the Power Rangers were awesome. And then, so my last thing is the best Halloween movie is by far the original Halloween. I haven't seen the new one where they bring Jamie Lee Curtis back and everything like that. It's on my list to do. Haven't gotten a chance to go to the theater yet. But I really like the original Halloween, Michael Myers, Jamie Lee Curtis, the William Shatner mask, everything like that. It's very, very spooky, and that movie stayed with me for a long time after the first time that I saw it, and just kind of haunted me. The way Michael Myers silently stalked Laurie Strode and tried to get her, basically. So those are some of my favorite Halloween things that I wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at APA something, or send us emails to a podcast about something at gmail.com. You can also, if you want to support the show, you can subscribe on our Patreon, patreon.com/a podcast about something, or you can just send money via PayPal straight to a podcast about something at gmail.com. That way it's not the monthly subscription like Patreon. And also I want to give special thanks to Those Cats for all the music provided on a podcast about something. Thank you for listening. Stay classy.